Welcome. Tonight, let your thoughts drift far from the noise of the day, to the quiet heart of the African continent, where stories live in the wind, and the earth remembers every step that came before. In this space of stillness, we explore the gentle rhythms of everyday life long ago. Not with excitement or urgency, but slowly, deeply, as a lullaby of the past guides you into rest. If you find peace in these stories, consider subscribing. It helps this calm corner of YouTube grow, so that more dreamers can fall asleep to the echoes of history. Now, close your eyes, and let's begin. Chapter 1. Morning Mist and Fishermen. The first light of dawn arrives quietly along the Niger River, its soft glow barely piercing the gentle cloak of mist that rests like a silken veil upon the water. The world seems to hold its breath in this delicate moment between night and day, where time slows and the river's steady pulse hums softly beneath the silence. The surface of the river is smooth and glass-like, reflecting the pale hues of early morning. The soft grays of the fog, the gentle blush of a sky still wrapped in the fading shadows of night. A cool breeze stirs the long reeds lining the banks, their slender stems whispering secrets to one another in the hushed language of the wild. Along the shoreline, the figures of fishermen begin to emerge, their movements unhurried and deliberate, as if part of the river itself. Their wooden canoes, carved with patient hands from towering trees, rest lightly upon the water's edge. The canoes are simple, yet finely crafted vessels, long, narrow, and smooth, shaped to slip silently through the river's gentle currents. The fishermen themselves wear garments of woven cotton and leather, muted earth tones blending with the colors of the forest and water. Their faces, calm and serene, reflect a life deeply connected to this ancient river. They move with a quiet grace, hands gentle but sure, their touch respectful of the tools they rely upon. Before setting out, each man tends carefully to his nets. These are not hurried actions but slow, mindful rituals. Nets woven from flax or other natural fibers are inspected with care, each knot checked, each mesh examined for the smallest tear. Where imperfections are found, hands move with practiced ease, repairing with twine or strips of bark, ensuring that no flaw will spoil the catch. The act of mending is rhythmic and soothing, the soft snap of fibers pulled taut and tied echoing faintly in the still morning air. A single fisherman steps further into the water, the cool flow swirling around his legs. The river's surface ripples gently, reflecting the light as his canoe is pushed forward. He slides in with practiced ease, settling onto the smooth bench carved inside the hull. His paddle, shaped from a single branch, fits comfortably in his hands. The river welcomes him, carrying the canoe forward on its steady breath. His strokes are slow, deliberate, each movement a quiet conversation with the water. The paddle dips, stirs, and lifts in a steady rhythm, sending soft ripples outward that gently kiss the banks. Above, a chorus of birds begins to sing. The sharp call of a kingfisher, the soft trilling of swallows, the distant caws of crows. As the fishermen glide farther from shore, they cast their nets with a practiced ease that speaks of generations. The nets unfurl slowly, spreading wide in the cool morning light before sinking quietly beneath the water's surface. The river cradles the nets, hiding them among its gentle currents and shadowy depths. The waiting begins. Time slows to the heartbeat of the river itself. The fishermen remain still, eyes watching the subtle signs, shifting reflections, the flicker of scales beneath the surface, the sudden ripple that signals a curious fish. This is a moment of calm patience, where the world contracts to the soft lapping of water, the whisper of breeze, and the steady breath of the earth. No words are spoken. No hurry breaks the quiet. The river flows steadily, carrying life and promise. Fishermen listen to the water's stories, feeling beneath their feet the pulse of the land. They observe the clouds drifting slowly overhead, the pattern of leaves floating past, and the gentle sway of branches reflected on the water's surface. A soft mist drifts upward now, curling and thinning in the warming air. The sun's first rays pierce through the haze, scattering golden light across the river like scattered jewels. Shadows stretch long and soft along the banks. The whole world seems wrapped in a warm embrace, a quiet morning prayer offered by nature itself. From time to time, a fisherman adjusts his net or pulls in a small, shimmering catch, a tilapia, or a catfish glinting like a jewel. Each fish is handled with care, placed gently into a woven basket lined with fresh leaves to keep it cool and fresh. In these moments, the river is more than a source of food, it is a place of harmony and connection. The fisherman is part of the great cycle, water, earth, sky, and all living creatures moving together in slow, endless dance. Farther downstream, herons and kingfishers stand motionless on slender legs, waiting patiently for their own catch. Dragonflies flit lazily over the reeds, their wings shimmering like stained glass in the sunlight. The air is filled with subtle fragrances, the damp earth, the faint sweetness of blooming flowers, the rich scent of river mud. As the morning deepens, the fishermen begin to bring their canoes back toward the shore. The river, now bathed in light, carries their slow journey home. The nets are carefully drawn in, emptied, and tended again, each knot checked once more, each tier mended with slow, gentle hands. The baskets swell with the bounty of the river, fish, small crustaceans, and river plants gathered for food and medicine. The catch is modest but enough. It is a quiet testament to a life lived patiently, with respect for nature's gentle rhythms. On the riverbank, the village wakes gradually. Smoke curls upward from cooking fires, mingling with the sweet scent of baking millet bread and roasting yams. Children's laughter drifts softly from the compound, blending with the distant murmur of voices and the quiet clatter of tools. The fishermen unload their canoes slowly, passing baskets to waiting hands. Their work is done for the morning, but the river's song continues, the steady flow that will carry the sun's warmth and the moon's cool touch through the day and night. The mist has lifted now, revealing the lush green canopy of trees, baobabs with their thick trunks, palms swaying gently in the breeze, and tall grasses brushing softly against the earth. The Niger River winds on, a silver thread weaving through the tapestry of life. As we leave this peaceful morning by the river, we carry with us the quiet strength of the fishermen, the gentle flow of water, and the timeless rhythm of the Mali Empire's heartbeat. A slow, steady song of life, whispered through the ages. Chapter 2: The Village Awakens. As the fishermen's canoes rest quietly on the riverbank, the village nestled among the trees begins to stir with gentle life. Dawn's soft light filters through the broad leaves of baobab and palm, casting long, dappled shadows on the earth. The air is cool and fragrant, the mingled scents of damp soil, fresh leaves, and embers from last night's fires. The village is small, built with patience and care, shaped by centuries of tradition. The houses stand close together, constructed of sun-baked mud bricks and sturdy wooden poles. Their walls are thick and rounded, painted with soft ochres and earth tones, blending seamlessly into the landscape. Roofs are made of woven reeds, thatched tightly to hold out the rain and the heat of the sun. In the early morning hush, soft murmurs rise as villagers begin their slow awakening. Doors creak open, and the first figures step outside, wrapped in shawls of hand-woven cotton or animal skins. Their movements are unhurried, gentle and deliberate, as if still wrapped in the lingering softness of dreams. Women emerge first, carrying earthenware pots filled with water drawn from the river just moments ago. The cool water glistens in the morning light as they pour it into large basins, ready for washing and cooking. They move with a practiced rhythm, dipping cloths into the water, folding them with care, and wiping the cool mud off their children's faces. Children, still sleepy-eyed, begin to stir as the smells of breakfast draw them near. Some clutch small wooden toys, hand-carved animals or simple balls made from tightly wrapped cloth, and move slowly among the adults, their footsteps light and uneven on the soft earth. Near the center of the village, a fire is stoked beneath a large clay pot. The pot rests on a tripod of stones, gently warmed by flickering flames. Women gather around, their voices low and comforting as they prepare the day's first meal. A porridge made from millet, enriched with wild honey and fragrant spices gathered from the forest. The soft bubbling sound of the cooking porridge blends with the hum of morning conversation. The men, returning from the river or rising from their sleep, begin to prepare for the day's work. Some sharpen wooden tools with small stones, the steady scraping sound echoing quietly. Others carry bundles of firewood collected the previous evening, stacking them carefully near the cooking fires. In the quiet spaces between houses, elders sit beneath broad-leafed trees, their faces lined with the gentle passage of years. They speak softly, exchanging stories and wisdom from times long past. Their voices carry the weight of generations, a slow, steady rhythm, like the river itself. One elder, his skin weathered like bark, strokes a carved wooden staff with slow reverence. His eyes gaze toward the horizon where the sun rises higher, casting golden light across the land. His stories are not of battle or conquest, but of the cycles of seasons, the care of the earth, and the sacred bonds between people and nature. Nearby, children listen intently, their bodies still, eyes wide with quiet wonder. The elder's words weave pictures of baobab trees heavy with fruit, the song of cicadas in the dry season, and the flight of birds returning after the rains. As the morning progresses, the village comes fully to life. Women gather herbs and wild fruits from the nearby forest, leaves of medicinal plants, ripe berries hanging low on branches, and fragrant blossoms used to scent homes and clothing. Their baskets, woven from slender reeds, are sturdy and beautiful, carrying the colors and textures of the forest itself. A few villagers tend to small gardens near their homes. These plots are carefully nurtured, growing millet, sorghum, and beans, crops essential to life in this land. The soil is dark and rich, tilled with simple wooden hoes, turned gently beneath warm fingers. Each plant is cherished, part of the delicate balance between earth and sky. A soft breeze carries the mingled scents of cooking fires, fresh herbs, and the damp earth after early morning dew. It rustles through the village, brushing against woven baskets, drying cloths, and the fluttering leaves of banana trees. The rhythm of daily life unfolds slowly, like a quiet song. There is no rush here, only the steady pulse of community and care. Near the river, children play by the water's edge, their laughter soft and unhurried. They chase small fish in the shallow pools, their feet stirring the mud, sending gentle ripples outward. Their parents watch nearby, their faces calm, hands ready to catch or soothe. A young mother cradles her baby wrapped in a brightly patterned cloth, singing a lullaby passed down through generations. Her voice is soft and soothing, a thread of warmth in the cool morning air. As the sun rises higher, its warmth spreads slowly across the village. Shadows shrink and the earth begins to glow with soft, golden light. The men prepare to leave for the fields or the forest, gathering tools and supplies with quiet focus. The women finish their chores, preparing the midday meal and tidying the homes. Their hands move with gentle care, weaving baskets, repairing clothing, and tending to fires with slow precision. Even as work begins, there is an underlying calmness, a sense that every movement, every breath, is part of a larger whole. The village breathes as one with the river, the trees, and the endless sky above. This is a life attuned to the slow unfolding of days, a steady flow of tasks and moments that build quietly into the fabric of community and survival. As we watch the village awaken, we see not just a place, but a way of being. A world where time is measured in the warmth of sunlight, the movement of clouds, and the rhythm of footsteps on soft earth. And in this gentle morning light, the heart of the Mali Empire beats quietly, steady, enduring, and serene. Chapter 3: The Market and its Stories. As the sun climbs higher, the village's heartbeat draws its people toward the market square, a modest clearing shaded by tall baobabs and acacia trees. The market is not a bustling place of noise and haste, but a calm, steady gathering of neighbors, artisans, and traders. It is here that the threads of daily life intertwine gently, woven by hands both young and old. The market stalls are simple, wooden tables and woven mats laid on the soft earth, each displaying wares made with patient care. Baskets filled with millet, sorghum grains, and freshly harvested vegetables sit beside bundles of dried herbs and fragrant spices. Earth-toned pottery vessels, shaped and fired by skilled hands, rest quietly in neat rows. A woman arranges her goods with thoughtful precision. Small clay bowls and water jugs, each painted with delicate geometric patterns, catch the light with muted warmth. Nearby, a man weaves a basket from thin strips of palm, his fingers moving slowly and deliberately, creating curves that seem to flow like the river itself. Conversations here are low and measured, carried on soft voices that rise and fall like the wind through tall grasses. Traders exchange stories along with goods, tales of the recent rains, of distant travels along the Niger River, of family milestones celebrated beneath the starry sky. At the edge of the market, an elder sits beneath the broad canopy of a baobab, his hand steady as he carves a small wooden figure. Each delicate cut of his knife reveals the shape of a bird, perhaps a symbol of freedom, or a messenger between earth and sky. Nearby children watch in quiet fascination, their wide eyes absorbing the rhythm of his craft. The scent of dried fish mingles with that of fresh fruit, a reminder of the river's bounty and the forest's generosity. Baskets hold soft yellow mangoes and thick-skinned kola nuts, prized for their taste and their place in social rituals. A young girl offers a handful of wild honey to a passing visitor, her smile gentle and shy. In one corner, a potter gently spins a wheel, molding clay into new vessels destined for homes and hearths. His movements are slow and meditative, each turn shaping not just the clay but the quiet pulse of tradition. The market is more than a place to exchange goods, it is a living tapestry of culture and community. Every item has a story, woven into the fibers of cloth, the smooth curve of a pot, the scent of a freshly ground spice. Nearby, a small group gathers around a storyteller, an elder whose voice carries the cadence of ancient songs. His stories are soft and rhythmic, filled with images of the great rivers and vast savannas, of ancestors who walked the land long before the market stones were laid. His tales speak of quiet acts of kindness, of seasons turning with gentle grace, and of the sacred connection between people and place. Listeners lean in, their faces relaxed, eyes half closed as the words settle like a gentle rain upon the soul. Women braid long strands of hair into intricate patterns, their hands moving in time with whispered conversations. The braided styles are both practical and beautiful, reflecting identity and heritage in every twist and loop. A boy carries a small wooden flute, its notes drifting softly over the marketplace breeze. The melody is simple and soothing, blending with the ambient sounds like a lullaby woven into the fabric of the day. As the sun arcs slowly across the sky, the market begins to wind down. Traders gather their wares with quiet care, folding cloths and stacking pots with deliberate gentleness. The warm glow of afternoon light softens the edges of the village, casting long shadows that stretch like sleepy arms across the earth. The people disperse back to their homes and fields, their steps slow and unhurried, carrying with them the calm rhythm of exchange and community. In the gentle quiet that follows, the market remains, still and waiting. A place where the stories of Mali's people breathe softly, like a well-loved song passed from one generation to the next. Chapter 4: The Quiet Craft of Pottery. As the sun begins its steady climb, warming the earth and bathing the village in a gentle golden light, we find ourselves drawn to a quiet corner where the art of pottery unfolds in slow, deliberate rhythm. Here, the hands of a potter coax life from the cool, moist clay, an ancient craft practiced across centuries, a soft dialogue between earth and maker. The potter's workshop is humble, a shaded nook beneath the sprawling branches of a large acacia tree, its leaves filtering the sunlight into dappled patterns on the ground. A simple wooden wheel, worn smooth by time and touch, rests on a low stone base. Nearby, clay dug from the riverbank lies in soft, pliable mounds, awaiting transformation. The potter sits cross-legged on a woven mat, his posture relaxed yet attentive. His fingers are thick and strong, but move with a gentle precision. He dips his hands into a basin of water, moistening the clay just enough to soften its texture, making it ready to receive his touch. With slow, steady motions, he lifts a lump of clay and begins to shape it. His thumbs press gently at the center, creating a hollow that will become the vessel's heart. The wheel turns, not fast, but in a steady, calming rotation, echoing the slow, unhurried beat of life itself. Each movement is deliberate. The potter's hands guide the clay upward, coaxing walls thinner and smoother, molding curves that rise and fall like gentle hills on a serene landscape. There is no rush here. Time flows like the nearby river, constant, patient, and unending. The surface of the clay is cool and soft beneath his fingers, moist with the promise of transformation. The potter pauses often, letting the form rest, feeling its weight and balance, tuning it with careful adjustments. A faint smile touches his lips as the shape emerges, simple, elegant, a vessel both functional and beautiful. Alongside him, a small child watches quietly, her wide eyes absorbing each gesture, each subtle motion. Perhaps one day she too will learn the secrets held in these soft, wet forms. Nearby, a shallow basket holds an array of simple tools, smooth stones for polishing, carved wooden sticks for etching gentle patterns, and small brushes made from twigs and animal hair. The potter selects a fine-tipped tool and begins to trace delicate, swirling designs along the pot's rim. Patterns inspired by the flowing waters of the Niger and the swirling winds of the desert. The designs are not hurried strokes but slow, meditative markings, each line a whisper, each curve a breath. They speak of connection between the maker, the earth, and the unseen forces that shape all things. Once the pottery is shaped and decorated, it is left to dry in the warm sun. The potter gently places the vessel on a wooden plank, shielding it from harsh light with woven mats that allow warmth to seep through gradually. Drying too quickly would cause cracks, so patience is key. As the day moves onward, the workshop fills with the soft hum of life. Birds singing in the trees, distant voices calling across the village, the occasional clatter of a basket being set down. The potter takes a moment to sip a cool drink from a carved wooden cup, eyes drifting thoughtfully across the landscape. Later, when the pottery has dried to a leather-like firmness, it is time for firing, a sacred and crucial step. The potter carefully arranges the vessels in a shallow pit lined with dry twigs and branches. The fire is lit slowly, the smoke curling upward in thin, quiet spirals, mingling with the warm breeze. The glow of the flames casts flickering shadows, turning the workshop into a place of quiet magic. The crackling fire sings softly, its warmth coaxing strength and resilience into the fragile forms. The potter watches attentively, tending the fire with gentle care, ensuring it neither burns too fiercely nor fades too quickly. This ritual connects the present with generations past, the same fire, the same earth, the same patient hands shaping the future one vessel at a time. As dusk begins to settle, the potter pulls the finished pieces from the cooling ashes. Their surfaces are now hardened, their colors deepened to soft ochres and earthy reds, tones that mirror the soil, the trees, and the sky above. Each vessel tells a quiet story, a story of earth and water, of light and time, of the steady hands that shaped it and the hands that will use it. They will hold water for the family, store grains for the coming seasons, or cradle offerings in sacred ceremonies. In this peaceful space, the craft of pottery is more than a task, it is a meditation, a gentle rhythm that honors the land, the people, and the quiet unfolding of life itself. As night approaches, the workshop grows still. The fading light softens every edge, and the vessels rest quietly, waiting to serve the rhythms of another day. Chapter 5: Evening Rituals and Rest. As the sun dips low toward the horizon, casting long shadows across the earth, the village begins its slow transformation from the light-filled bustle of day to the calm embrace of evening. The golden glow softens into muted shades of amber and rose, painting the sky in delicate watercolors of dusk. Here, the rhythm of life shifts, no longer the steady, purposeful labor of daylight, but a slower, quieter tempo, inviting rest and reflection. The fur trader's home, modest and sturdy, stands quietly on the edge of the village. Smoke rises gently from the hearth, carrying the comforting scent of burning wood mingled with dried herbs, sage, perhaps, or sweet grass, spread nearby to cleanse the air and invite peaceful dreams. Inside, the trader moves slowly, his hands performing familiar tasks with care and intention. He begins by tending to the hearth, stirring the embers to a gentle glow, coaxing the last warmth from the fire. The soft orange flicker casts dancing shadows on the log walls, a quiet companion in the dimming light. Nearby, a simple meal awaits, a small bowl of millet porridge, thick and warm, flavored with wild honey gathered from a nearby grove. The trader eats slowly, savoring each bite as though it were a small ceremony honoring the day's end. Outside, the sounds of the forest shift subtly. The daytime birdsong fades, replaced by the soft chorus of crickets and the occasional hoot of an owl. A breeze stirs the leaves gently, carrying with it the faint, earthy fragrance of damp soil and pine needles. As the meal finishes, the trader moves to a woven mat near the hearth, settling into a quiet meditation. His breathing slows, in time with the flickering firelight. His eyes close, and for a few moments, he simply listens, to the night's calm song, to the steady beat of his own heart. In this stillness, he remembers the day's gentle tasks, the careful shaping of clay, tending of pelts, the steady glide of his canoe along the river. Each memory flows softly, like a thread weaving him into the fabric of this quiet world. Later, before sleep takes him fully, the trader performs a small ritual, a simple act of gratitude. He lifts a small wooden bowl of water and pours it slowly onto the earth outside the door, honoring the spirits of the land that have sustained him. This offering is quiet and unadorned, yet deeply felt. The firelight wanes, and the room grows cool. The trader wraps himself in a thick woolen blanket, the texture rough but comforting, and lies down on his simple cot. The soft rustle of the blanket is the last sound before the night deepens. Outside, the forest breathes softly under a blanket of stars. The moon, a pale silver crescent, hangs low in the sky, casting gentle light over the trees. The sounds of night continue their steady, soothing song. In this quiet world, sleep comes slowly and easily, carrying the trader through the dark hours, wrapped in the soft embrace of earth, sky, and time itself. Chapter 6: Dawn's Gentle Return. The world begins to stir once more as the first delicate light of dawn gently stretches across the sky. The darkness slowly retreats, softened by hues of pale rose and lavender, painting the horizon with the tender colors of awakening. The village remains quiet in these early hours, still wrapped in the calm silence that precedes the day. A thin mist rises from the earth, swirling softly above the fields and riverbanks, blurring the edges of trees and huts into watercolor shapes. Within the humble dwelling, the fur trader stirs beneath his woolen blanket. His eyes open slowly, adjusting to the faint glow filtering through the small window. The air is cool and crisp, carrying the scent of damp earth and pine, a quiet reminder of the life that breathes all around. He rises carefully from his cot, his movements measured and unhurried. The rough texture of the blanket falls away as he pulls on a worn leather tunic, its surface softened from many years of wear. His feet meet the cool earth floor, grounding him in the gentle rhythm of the morning. By the hearth, a small pile of embers from the night's fire still holds a faint warmth. The trader stokes them softly, coaxing a gentle flame to life. The flickering glow grows steadily, illuminating the room with a tender light. Outside, the forest awakens in a chorus of birdsong, warblers, finches, and thrushes, each voice weaving into a tranquil melody that fills the air with promise. The gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze is like a whispered greeting. The trader steps outside, the cool morning air embracing him like an old friend. He breathes deeply, filling his lungs with the fresh scents of pine resin, damp moss, and the faint sweetness of wildflowers beginning to bloom. Before him, the river glistens softly in the dawn light. Its surface is smooth and reflective, mirroring the slowly brightening sky. A lone heron stands motionless at the water's edge, its long legs folded beneath it, waiting patiently. He moves slowly to the wooden drying frames where the pelts rest, softened overnight by the cool air. The fur shimmers faintly with dew, delicate droplets catching the light like tiny jewels. He runs his hand gently over the beaver pelts, feeling their smooth, oily texture, a reminder of the forest's quiet generosity. Today, the trader will prepare for a journey downstream. The canoe, resting nearby, awaits with its familiar curve and worn surface. He will paddle with steady, calm strokes, letting the river carry him through the stillness of the waking world. But for now, he takes a moment to simply be, listening to the gentle pulse of life around him, feeling the soft earth beneath his feet, and allowing the peacefulness of the morning to seep into his very bones. The day is beginning, but in this tranquil hour, time feels as endless as the river itself. Chapter 7. The river's slow embrace. The canoe glides quietly onto the surface of the river, its smooth wooden hull cutting through the glassy water with barely a sound. The fur trader settles into the worn seat, his body relaxing into the familiar rhythm of the river's slow embrace. With a light touch, he dips the paddle into the water, sending soft ripples across the stillness. The gentle splash of the blade blends with the quiet murmur of flowing water and the whisper of the wind through the trees lining the riverbanks. Here, in this suspended world between earth and sky, time moves differently. There are no sharp edges, no urgent demands, only the measured pulse of nature unfolding at its own pace. The river bends gently ahead, bordered by ancient pines and birches whose reflections shimmer like watercolor paintings on the water's surface. Occasionally, a ripple disturbs the mirror, perhaps a fish surfacing, or a dragonfly skimming lightly across the currents. As the canoe drifts downstream, the trader's eyes take in the subtle details. Moss growing thick on fallen logs, the delicate arch of a heron's neck as it watches silently for a meal, the soft call of a loon echoing from a distant cove. Along the banks, wildflowers lean toward the water, white asters, purple loosestrife, and delicate pink fireweed, all swaying gently in the morning breeze. Their muted colors harmonize with the soft greens and browns of the forest, creating a peaceful palette of earth tones. The trader's hands rest lightly on the paddle, feeling the cool wood beneath his fingers. The motion is slow, almost meditative, a steady back and forth that matches the gentle rocking of the canoe. In this quiet passage, memories drift like the leaves carried downstream. He recalls days past, the careful setting of traps, the quiet conversations with village neighbors, the shared stories around the fire. These memories are soft and warm, like the fading light of a sunset held in his heart. A heron takes flight suddenly, rising with wide, silent wings and disappearing into the canopy above. The water settles once more, smooth and undisturbed. As the sun climbs higher, the mist that lingered at dawn fades, revealing the full richness of the forest and river. The colors deepen, but remain muted and soothing. The soft browns of bark, the gentle greens of leaves, the pale blues of sky reflected in the water. Further downstream, the trading post comes into view, a humble cluster of wooden buildings nestled among the trees, smoke curling lazily from stone chimneys. It is a place of quiet exchange and slow, steady work. The trader guides the canoe toward the small dock, the wood worn smooth by many years of use. He ties the canoe securely, then lifts his bundle of pelts, feeling their weight and texture, a reminder of the day's labors and the land's generosity. The river has carried him gently on its slow journey, and now he steps back onto solid earth, ready to share the fruits of his quiet work. Chapter 8. Evening's Gentle Rest. As the sun begins its slow descent behind the tall pines, the day folds gently into evening. The soft, warm light stretches long shadows across the forest floor, bathing the world in hues of amber and muted gold. It is a time for quiet reflection, for winding down, for the gentle closing of the day's story. The fur trader returns from the trading post, his steps slow and steady, each footfall softened by the blanket of moss and fallen leaves. The air is cooling now, carrying the faint scent of smoke from distant fires and the earthiness of night-blooming flowers. His home welcomes him like a familiar embrace, a simple cabin crafted from rough-hewn logs, its walls darkened with age and the quiet memories of countless seasons. Inside, the hearth waits, glowing faintly from the embers left earlier. With practiced hands, he gathers dry kindling and small twigs, coaxing the fire back to life with soft, steady breaths. The flames dance gently, casting flickering light that warms the space and softens the edges of the room. He moves slowly, methodically, tending to his tools and pelts, placing them carefully to dry and rest. Each item carries its own story: the soft, oily beaver fur, the sleek mink pelts, the worn leather straps. They speak of patience, respect, and the quiet rhythm of the forest's gift. Outside, twilight deepens. The sky fades from gold to a deepening blue, dotted with the first shy stars. A gentle breeze stirs the branches overhead, their leaves whispering secrets in the growing dark. The trader prepares a simple evening meal, a stew of wild roots and dried meat, simmered slowly over the fire's glow. The aroma fills the cabin with warmth and comfort. He eats slowly, savoring each bite, the flavors subtle and grounding, nourishing both body and spirit. As night settles, he steps outside once more. The forest is alive with soft sounds, the rustle of small creatures moving through underbrush, the occasional call of a night bird, the distant murmur of the river flowing steadily onward. He pauses for a moment beneath the vast canopy of stars, feeling the cool night air on his skin. The universe above is wide and silent, an endless expanse of calm and wonder. Here, in this quiet place, he feels connected to the land, to the animals, to the flow of time itself. With a final glance toward the flickering fire inside, he returns to his cot. The thick wool blanket wraps around him like a protective cloak. His breathing slows, matching the deep, steady heartbeat of the forest night. As the embers fade to glowing ash, the world slips quietly into sleep. And so, with the soft embrace of darkness and the gentle pulse of nature all around, our day with the fur trader comes to a peaceful close.